What's up, everybody? We are back to talk about week 9. Be August the 14th of 2022 through August 20th, 2022. This was our second week of CAD, Combined Arms Department. Let's see. It was a busy week. We had a lot of stuff crammed into not a lot of time. So let's see. We finished off week 1 of CAD with land nav, and then we had the Warrior games on Saturday. So fast forward, second week of CAD, week 9. Sunday was definitely a recovery day. Yeah, body's gonna be a little bit tired. Monday, August 15th, we started off with combatives, which I don't know if you remember or not, but after land nav, we did 4 hours of combatives. So we started the week off on Monday with combatives. It was from 5 to 7 in the morning, and then we got a little bit of a break. Didn't have to be to class until 9, which was nice. Got a chance to eat some breakfast, and then we went over to our classroom, and we had some classes on joint structure. So joint force structure between Army and other components, as well as international cooperations, so like partnering with other ally nations, things like that. Then we had a class covering operational environment, which most of you should be familiar with. If you're just coming out of ROTC or OCS, West Point, things like that. Pretty sure you all had a class on operational environment and the major components that make up the operational environment. Then we had a class on RSOF, or Army Special Operations Forces, given to us by one of our CAD cadre, who's a former team guy. I'm not going to give out his name. If he's still here when you come through, cool. He's probably going to be the one that teaches that class. But out of respect for his privacy, I'm not going to give out his name. It was a good class, though. If you have any interest in doing RSOF stuff, definitely pay attention. He can get you in contact with the right people, or he can give you the contact for the right people. It was good information. It was a good class. Then we went to lunch, and when we came back, we had a class on property management, which, as an officer, eventually you're going to be a commander, and property management is a very important thing. It's one of the few things in the military that can get you fired, get you in a lot of trouble, and you lose a lot of money. Basically, when you take over a unit as a commander, you're responsible for everything that unit owns. Essentially, you own it. So I've seen people get fired, get in trouble, get charged for missing equipment like ACOGs, it's PAS 13s, and some other things like that. So pay attention to the class. It's not a very in-depth class, but it teaches you what you need to know. So that was Monday. Wasn't a super long day. We were out probably 4 o'clock. Not bad. Tuesday, we started the day with combatives. Again, 05 to 07. Then we're back in the classroom, and so we were split. In the morning, my class, Class 8, was in the classroom. Class 7 was over at the Sim Center. Class 8 started with Call for Fire. It's kind of a refresher. If you're familiar with Call for Fire, great. If you're not familiar with Call for Fire, great. Doesn't matter. They're going to teach you how to do it. It's a real basic class, so it doesn't teach you all the different variables. It doesn't teach you all the different ways that you can do a Call for Fire. It gives everybody a nice baseline and a good understanding. There's a practical exercise at the end of it. It's not anything crazy. You're not going to fail it. It's not, at least for us, it wasn't part of our grade, so don't stress about it. But there's plenty of resources out there, like I mentioned in the last video. For week 8, get yourself a Ranger handbook. Everything you need to know about Call for Fire is in there. If you've got one of those nifty little Write in the Rain books, it's got a script for you. So, Call for Fire. Yeah. In the afternoon, we've switched with Class 7. Class 7 went back and did Call for Fire. Class 8, we went out to the Sim Center and covered JBCP, which is the Joint Battle Command Platform. Basically, this is the operating system or software that when you're in country, tracks your routes, it tracks your reports, it tracks all the vehicles in your convoy. It's how you send up spot reports, it's how you send up IED reports, UXOs, TICs, or your troop in contact. It's how you communicate off Vox with other members of your convoy, and your talk and things like that. So we basically just went over how to load reports into it, how to load routes, and how to send up reports in it. So it's a pretty cool system. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about JBCP for you, but you learn how to use it. So Wednesday, we started off with combatives, again 0507, and then my class 8, we went over to Mistiff, which is basically your medical. Or your TC3, your CLS. The Army as a whole is kind of widely transitioning away from teaching you CLS basics and going towards the TC3, or the Tactical Casualty Combat Care. This was really kind of a refresher for me. Civilian side, this is something that I'm very familiar with. I do an annual refresher on there. I'm certified in it. I've been through BLS, so Basic Life Support, Advanced Life Support, which is ALS. Done CLS and TC3 and TACMed. So this was a nice little refresher. I've never got to do it at Mistiff though, which was pretty cool. A lot of people aren't really into the blood and guts and things like that. Mistiff is the opportunity to do a lot of this stuff hands-on. They can give you a little bit of that stress inoculation. The dummies that they have the ability to be hooked up to a machine and pump medical effect fake blood essentially through arteries. So you get the opportunity to actually stop hemorrhaging wounds. So that's pretty cool. Take advantage of it while you're here. It's one day. If you don't like it, you can deal with it for one day, I promise. But what you learn there might save somebody's life one day. So take it serious. It is fun, but like I said, take it serious. So Thursday, started off with combatives again from 0507, and then We went over to the Sim Center again. So on Wednesday, while we were at Mistiff, Class 7 was over at the Sim Center. And Thursday we switched, so we went to the Sim Center and we did convoy operations. So we got to implement what we learned on the JBCP, and we put it in play into convoy operations, which is essentially a giant networked video game, and you're running a convoy. So you'll have a team of 3, which makes up a truck. You'll have multiple trucks, which make up your convoy. In the trucks, you'll have multiple roles. So it'll be you and 2 other people. One of you will be the vehicle commander, one of you will be the driver, and one of you will be the gunner. They set up a bunch of different scenarios so that you can switch and that each person gets the opportunity to occupy each role. So it's really kind of a laid-back, fun day, but it does kind of give you about a mid-range exposure to the simulated stress of convoy. That wasn't really a super long day either. I think we were out around 3:30. It's good information. The guys over there at the Sim Center do a good job of trying to make it as realistic as possible, given the confines of time and space. So, Friday. If you've been following along with the videos, most of you are tracking on what Friday was. So Friday, we did our 12-mile ruck march. It was the last ruck march of AGBOLC. So 12 miles, same route. The weight is 35 pounds. We had to be out there at 04 for accountability. Safety brief was 04:15, and we stepped off at 04:30. Hopefully they pick a new route for you guys. I brought it up in the AAR. I brought it up personally at the mid-course AAR after the 6 mile. The route is a fire break, essentially, and some tank trails. So it's sand and rock with uphill and downhill. Now, before some of y'all start trying to rip into me, I was combat arms on the enlisted side. I was a scout. We rucked everywhere, and I love ruck marches. This route was trash. There's no other way to put it. This route is trash. For the 6 mile, it had rained the day before, so the sand was pretty dense. There's a few spots that were mud. So you can imagine dense sand packed in your boots, up and down hill, and you hit mud. You can imagine what happens. The 9 mile wasn't so bad. It didn't rain. It didn't rain a couple days prior to, so it was mostly dry. However, rucking on sand and rock still sucks. It shreds your boots. So my advice would be don't wear new boots. My advice would be don't wear new boots on a ruck march ever. Wear your trashy, broken-in boots that fit your feet, that are a little bit too big, so that your feet have room to swell. Don't tighten up your laces. But I digress. The 12 mile. Same route as the 6 and the 9. However, we stepped off at 04:30. As soon as we completed the first mile, the floodgates opened up, and we then got to ruck in a torrential downpour for the next 6 miles. Yeah, So I've rucked in the rain before. Your back gets raw, everything rubs, and it's wet. So that part wasn't necessarily bad. It sucks, yeah. Um, Whatever. However, rucking in the pouring rain, in the sand, in the mud, sucks. Um, uh, yeah. So you ruck out 6 miles, turn around, ruck back. So um, all the crappy spots on that route that you hit on the way out, um, on the way back. Fortunately, it quit raining on the way back. That being said, everything was already soaked. All the mud was a swamp, and there were several spots that were completely underwater. Um, I'd say there was probably eight or 9 points on the route where at least 30 meters stretch of your route was just completely submerged in water. So um, I've got some pictures of it. I'll try to put somewhere up here or maybe down here. Who knows? It'll be on there somewhere. Um, there's some nice video floating around of the route as well. Um, yeah. The only thing I can say is don't quit. Just push through it. Um, if it does start raining, you're not the only one going through it. If it doesn't rain, whatever, cool. It's just a long walk in the woods with a backpack. Really, that's all it is. Even if it's raining, yeah, it sucks, but everybody's going through it together, and eventually it's going to end. So, yeah, that was the 12 mile. It wasn't really for time, so who knows, that may change with future classes. I can tell you that class 9 and 10 were not out there rucking with us, so their class may be the first ones to start doing it for time. Just know that it's not really up to the schoolhouse whether we do rucks or not. It's up to the CG for Fort Jackson, and his policy is that you ruck. So like it, love it, hate it, indifferent, whatever, you're going to do it. The requirement right now is just that you finish it. That may change for class 9 and 10. They may have a time standard. If you're not comfortable with rucks, get out and do it. Set a time goal and keep beating it each time. Your nutrition is important as well. Like I said, I'm not going to make this entire video about a ruck march. If you have questions about it, or you want to know how to prep your ruck, how to pack your ruck, what kind of nutrition I suggest, let me know. I can tell you that the next day my legs were fine. They don't hurt. So, granted, I got bad shoulders. I had shoulder surgery not even a year ago, so my shoulders are kind of on fire. But that is what it is. So yeah, if y'all got questions about a ruck or anything related to it, let me know. After the ruck, we went and did our CAD AAR. So did our AAR for the 2 weeks of Combined Arms Department. We got to rate our cadre, kind of talk about some things that we wanted them to improve. We suggested that combatives get moved around, so hopefully future classes will get the opportunity to actually leave with their level 1 combative cert. Whether or not that happens, who knows? Obviously we've suggested that they change the ruck route. Whether or not that happens, who knows? It's not on me. I don't get to make those decisions. So if you get stuck with the same ruck route we had, I feel for you. I'm not going to sit here and say, ha ha, I had to do it, so you have to do it. I feel for you. That route sucks. But somebody may have also spilled the tea a little bit. So as you can see behind me, I'm chilling in a hotel. That's where I live for the duration of AGBOLC. That's going to be coming to an end. They're building some brand new barracks, and somebody spilled some tea that future classes will not be staying in the hotel. They will be staying in the barracks. So that much, I'm sorry. Like I said, everything is changing here, and that's why I felt that these videos would be helpful. Because some of the videos that are floating around are outdated, really. They didn't do half the stuff that we're doing now. A lot of them made it seem like AGBOLC was just this chill, come here, sit around, do nothing course, and leave. And that's not what it is. So just keep in mind when you come here, you are still part of the United States Army. We are still a fighting force. And the goal of AGBOLC is to produce combat-ready soldiers to go to their unit. So they have to prepare you for that. So they want to make sure that everybody's at least on an even baseline, if not already surpassed it. So don't shoot the messenger. I'm just putting out the information that was given to me. So that really wraps up week 9. We've only got a couple more weeks here, so we'll do all of our CTE prep, I believe, in week 10, and then week 11 is CTE. Week 12 is pretty much out processing and whatever other courses or classes we can put together. And then so my freezer is really loud. And then the only thing left to do is graduate. So, yeah, that's week 9. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Like I said, I'll try to get the pictures from the ruck route up here, so you guys can kind of see what you're going to be dealing with. And I appreciate y'all watching. I know a few of y'all are subscribing now. So we'll see you guys next week for week 10. Thanks.